This is a topic I've gotten a lot of emails and messages about, buying land in an LLC or buying it as an individual. And we're getting Sean's perspective. He's an agent out of the state of Iowa on the pros and cons of buying something in an LLC. Let's get right into it. This is not financial advice. We are not attorneys, but at least it's a thought-provoking conversation. Here we go. For example, they buy a piece and then one has a kid and then the other one has a kid and then the families continue to grow. And then it's tough. In a perfect world, if you could find the perfect partner, it makes complete sense. But what are some key pieces of advice that you could provide beyond expectations? Because it's easy to say, but there's always all these different. It's still a relationship at the end of the day, and you bought it. If you put the money down, you're probably friends with them, and that's obviously really important. So I guess, what insight can you provide?
Communication's key, and if you can just see how somebody is hardwired. You can see money doesn't change people, it reveals people. And so if you could hand that person $1 million in cash, I don't have $1 million in cash, but if you could hand that person $1 million in cash and you could trust them that in 10 years, not a penny would be taken from it, that might be one indicator that you could be a partner with them.
Mm-hmm.
If you could put a 180-inch deer in front of them and they got a muzzleloader in their hands and it's 5 minutes after shooting light and they wouldn't shoot it, that's another indicator that you could trust that person. Mm-hmm. So trust, number one, and you have to think of all the scenarios up front that you might run into, and there's going to be other ones you don't run into. Mm-hmm. And it's not that you can't disagree. Of course you can disagree. You just have to be able to figure out how you're going to get through it. So really what it is, it's a legal marriage to that person that you're forced to figure it out. And you know what? Even if you keep it only 3 or 4 years, if you can just keep it 3 or 4 years, chances are you're going to make money anyway.
Right.
So one partner wants out, the other one can't afford to buy the other one out. Oh, well, sell it. Mm-hmm. Go buy another one.
Yep.
There's plenty of them out there. I have legitimately owned, in my mind, dream pieces of property to me, just to me. Mm-hmm. I'm not talking 1,000-acre pieces. I'm not talking 500-acre pieces. Dream to me that I've sold. That I love.
Did it hurt? Did it hurt when you sold them?
Mm-hmm. It does. It does. I mean, you can put so much work into a piece of property that it's almost like your dog dying when you sell it. You're going to get over it. It's going to be okay.
You're thankful for the good times.
You're thankful. Yes. You're thankful for the good times. I'm still married, happy to come home to my kids. I'm still healthy. It's not that, it's still first world problems.
Yeah.
But man, sure, it still feels like you got kicked in the gut, even though you sell a piece that you really liked and you made money on it. It does hurt. But here's the other thing. Any piece I've sold that I've owned, and I have not owned a lot of pieces of property, and I haven't bought one for quite some time. I stay in touch with them because I want to know. I'm curious. How's it going? You shooting something big? If you are, I'd love to hear about it.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. No. And so with some of those partnerships too, do you ever have a sunset clause in there or that buyout agreement that is clear on the front end to where
buyout agreement? Yes. Yeah. No sunset. It goes in perpetuity unless somebody dies, and then that's put in there. Divorce, that's put in there. So that stuff is stated, but not in 5 years it'll be renegotiated, anything like that.
Mm-hmm. Got it. Okay. That's a question that we've had people email in to ask. So I'm glad you brought that up. And then do you have any opinion on putting parcels? And this is probably more of a question for a real estate attorney, but do you have any opinions on just you, Sean, buying a piece of ground and putting it in an LLC versus you, Sean, putting it in your personal name?
Yeah, what I own, I have in LLCs. Mm-hmm. It is easier because number one, the land that I've bought as an investment one. Maybe that's how I sold it to my wife. Maybe it's not. Either way, I'll stick by it. But in investment one, that I just so happen to be able to hunt. So, mileage, if you can write off mileage, or anything you put into the property. Granted, any property I've owned not any of most of the ones I've owned have income on it. So I offset that income with improvements.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not like you can lose money 3, 4, 5 years in a row, but you can sure get it down, every other year
Mm-hmm.
ish. Talk to your accountant.
Yep.
You can sure get it down to making just a few bucks and maybe losing a few bucks the next year.
Mm-hmm.
So everything I put into it is an LLC because I'm looking to depreciate the assets on there, tile, fencing, buildings, and then I'm also looking to write off the inputs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Well, that makes perfect sense. And so